What's up, horror fans? It's Danny from the Cast, and I just got home from seeing Terrifier 2. No, I did not pass out or vomit in the movie theater. No ambulances were called because I like this shit. I'm a depraved human being, and for that I say thank you to writer director jack of all trades on this project, Damien Leone, and to David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown. I don't want to even say big fan, I was a fan of Terrifier. Terrifier was, to me, it felt like it was barely a movie. It felt like it was a collection of scenes gathered together with the idea of we're going to get the most gore and some of the gnarliest kills that you have ever seen with this incredibly eye-popping new horror villain, this new horror icon in Art the Clown. You know, I grew up being scared to death of Pennywise, Tim Curry's Pennywise in the original 1990 miniseries. And then with Andy Muschietti's movies, it takes a lot to reinvent clown horror. And good for David Howard Thornton and for Damien Leone for crafting Art the Clown and for turning him into what he's now become, this new horror icon, and the gore and the kills. The one particular kill, you know, from Terrifier was wow. But I like Terrifier, but it felt more like a collection of gore scenes with a loose narrative. And so when I found out that they were making a nearly 2.5 hour sequel, I went, how? How are you going to do this? Why are you going to do this? Why are you taking an 85 to 90 minute concept and stretching it out? And I shut my mouth. Well, keep it open because I got to finish this review. But they made not just a great gore movie, but they made a pretty great horror movie here. And what makes a great horror movie are great characters outside of the horror icon. You know, Michael Myers is great, but Laurie Strode is what makes Halloween. Freddy Krueger is great, but Nancy Thompson is what makes Nightmare on Elm Street and her movies in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Finally, Art the Clown has somebody to go up against here. We get one of the best modern final girls that I've ever seen in Lauren Rivera. She plays Sienna, and the best way I can describe her, the best way I can describe my reaction to Sienna as a character is I feel about Sienna now in the immediacy after seeing Terrifier 2 the way I felt about Erin, played by Sharni Vinson, after I saw You're Next, where I was so blown away by this just new final girl that just leapt out onto the horror scene. And this movie has plot, this movie has characters, this movie has the beginnings of it's starting to put into place a mythology that was interesting. I sat there in the movies and I was wondering where we were going. I was trying to, like, in my head, plan out, you know, ooh, what's going on with these characters? That's going to come back later. That's going to be important. So basically, Sienna and her younger brother, Jonathan, they're raised by their mother, and we don't really find out until the end, but their father is not there anymore. And we learn that their father effectively went crazy and committed suicide. But before he committed suicide, he was an artist. He was drawing all sorts of weird imagery that connects to the first movie and to art. And he also gave Sienna this kind of a blade, like a sword almost, and there's almost this like supernatural mythology going on, and just the way Sienna sits and crafts her Halloween costume, which is based on a drawing from her father's book of a character her father had created. And I just got this character so much. I just love this character so much. And I really enjoyed her brother Jonathan as well. And they are such good foils for art. She has some pretty decent characters as friends. She's very Laurie Strode. She has the one friend who's kind of, bookish, kind of is made to look kind of book smart, and not so raunchy. And then she has the very loud, raunchy friend who wants to go out, drink, do drugs, and have sex. But they never fall into cliche. And I found myself enjoying these character scenes. I found myself enjoying the relationship between this struggling, frayed out of her mind single mom and her two kids, Sienna and Jonathan. And then every once in a while, the movie reminds you, oh shit, this is an Art the Clown, disgustingly violent, ultra gory, effects driven, makeup driven horror movie, and you get some of the nastiest kills you'll ever see. There are reports, and you could read them, about people passing out and vomiting in the movie theater. That wasn't me. Like I said, I like this shit. There is Art the Clown has a little sidekick character that I won't get too deep into because it kind of has to do with that mythology and the supernatural element to it. But wow, just when you thought David Howard Thornton's Art the Clown makeup couldn't get creepy enough, the makeup on this child actor is wow. I'm gonna have some nightmares about that shit. But like I said, 2 hours and 20 minutes. I said to myself, there's no way they could pull this off. There's no way they could make a disgustingly violent, kill-happy slasher movie interesting for that long. And they did. They really, really did. And I genuinely, I think I love this movie. I mean, this year, 2022, it just doesn't stop. With the horror, it is amazing. I still have to get to Hellraiser on Hulu. I'm halfway through the Midnight Club on Netflix. Chucky is back on USA and Sci-Fi, and this is just what's happening now. Halloween Ends is coming out in a few days. I can't. It doesn't. This is the best horror year that I could remember. As a horror movie fan, it has revitalized my passion for this genre. Like, I'm so tired during the day, but then I end up going to the movies every night at 9:30 because of horror. There's no other genre that makes people do this. So if you are just looking to be grossed out with sickening kills, amazing gore effects, amazing horror makeup, and a new horror icon in Art the Clown, played by David Howard Thornton, a new iconic final girl, Sienna, played by Lauren Lavera, there you go. You're going to love this movie. But if you just want to go get those gore effects, but also see a pretty great little horror movie, you're also going to get that with Terrifier too. It is going to be on Screambox TV very soon. This was a very limited theatrical run. I wanted to go tonight to see this. and I'm very glad I did. What a surprisingly great movie. When I can't even think, and leave a comment if you can think about one. A horror movie where part one was good, but then part two really blows it away. And like, this makes me feel almost the Friday the 13th levels, where Friday the 13th part one has the music, it has the jump scare ending, but it's not, it has some good Tom Savini kills, but it's not a great movie. It's good, it's fine, but it's not great. But then Friday the 13th part two is much better, and it just does everything better, and it really leaves you excited for where this franchise is going. And Damien Leone and David Howard Thornton and Lauren Lavera, if they're going to carry on and do a part three, then I am going to be there opening night, because I was blown away. This is going to be very close to the top of my top 10 list. As of right now, it is probably, I can't believe I'm saying this about Terrifier 2. It might be top 5 of the year right now for me, in a year that has just been continuously great and has more to come. Oh, God, it's good to be a horror fan. Happy October. This has been Danny from the Lacercast, and I'll see you very soon.